Magandang buhay mga bata! Tara, samahan ninyo akong matuto kasama si
Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you! Revised K-12 Curriculum English Grade 5 Quarter 4 Lesson 7. Our topic for today is about sentence construction and tone and mood in writing. This is Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Let's start! Learning competencies and objectives. 1. Compose appropriate sentences for clarity and coherence. 1. Demonstrate mastery in using and identifying transitive verbs. 2. Use progressive tenses in sentences. 3. Demonstrate understanding of regular and irregular adverbs by correctly identifying and using adverbs with various degrees. 4. Recognize and use adjective complements in a sentence. 5. Demonstrate mastery in composing compound complex sentences. 2. Use tone and mood appropriately for one's purpose, context, and target audience. Formal. 1. Examine the elements that contribute to the mood of a piece. 2. Determine the mood by examining the setting, genre, and plot, and language used in writing. Short review. Match the terms in column A with their examples in column B. Write the letter of the correct answer. 1. Compound noun. G. Firefighter, ice cream. 2. Reflexive pronoun. B. Myself, himself, themselves. 3. Past progressive form. Answer D. Eves was playing basketball when it started raining. 4. Adverbs of place. K. Inside, nearby, above. 5. Adverbs of time. I. Soon, yesterday, now. 6. Noun complement. A. Ivan is a data analyst. 7. Direct object. E. Yuan gave me a gift. 8. Complex sentence. C. Fasting during Ramadan begins at dawn until the sun sets. 9. Subordination conjunctions. J. If, although, while, since. 10. Dependent clause. H. Because it is a religious obligation. Day 1. Lesson activity. Flower check-in. Assess yourselves if you have already developed the listed skills by providing a reaction according to the guide below. Draw your flower or flowers on the column before the lesson. You will get back to the chart after the lessons. I can even help someone do this. I can do this by myself. I need some more practice. Help me a little and I got it. Even with help, I don't get it. Learning skills or targets. 1. Demonstrate mastery in using and identifying transitive verbs in sentences. 2. Use progressive tenses in sentences. 3. Demonstrate understanding of regular and irregular adverbs by correctly identifying and using adverbs with various degrees. 4. Recognize and use adjective complements in a sentence. 5. Demonstrate mastery in composing compound complex sentences using conjunctions. 6. Determine the mood by examining the setting, genre, and plot, and language used in text or in writing. Unlocking content vocabulary. 1. An adjective complement, also called an adjective phrase complement, is a phrase or clause that provides information necessary to complete an adjective phrase's meaning. 2. Adverbs of degree tell us about the intensity of something. Adverbs of degree are usually placed before the adjective, adverb, or verb that they modify. 3. The mood of a piece of writing is its general atmosphere or emotional complexion. In short, the array of feelings the work evokes in the reader. Subtopic number 1. Transitive verbs. Transitive verb, a verb that requires a direct object to complete its meaning. Examples: eat, write, and buy. Intransitive verb, a verb that does not require a direct object. A direct object is the noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. For example, we attended the procession of the saints. Attended is the transitive verb, while procession is the direct object. Finding transitive verb and its direct object. Instruction: underline the transitive verb and encircle its direct object. 1. She cooked delicious food for the fiesta. 2. They decorated the house with colorful banners. 3. We danced to lively music at the fiesta. 4. He bought a piñata for the party. 5. Mom prepared tasty snacks for the fiesta. Answers. Six. The children played games at the fiesta. 7. They organized a basketball for the town's fiesta celebration. 8. She made traditional costumes for the parade. 9. We enjoyed fireworks at the fiesta finale. 10. He served refreshing drinks to the guests. Answers. B. Sorting out. Read the given paragraph and identify the verbs used. Sort the verbs into transitive or intransitive in a table. The sun shone brightly as the community gathered in the town square for the annual festival. Families set up booths with games and treats, while musicians played the drums. Ivan climbed the colorful maypole with ease, while Johan ran between the food stalls, eager to try every delicacy. Miggy laughed joyfully as she danced in the streets, while Blippi and Yuan sat quietly on the bench, watching the performers on stage. Aunt Irene brought delicious snacks for the children to eat, and Uncle Rick bought refreshing drinks from the booths. Suddenly, a parade of floats passed by, and the children waved excitedly. Everyone enjoyed the festival. Here are the underlined words: shown, gathered, sat, played, climbed, run, laughed, danced, sat, watching, brought, bought, passed by, waved, enjoyed. Now, let's answer the table. First column, transitive verbs. Second column, intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs: sat, played, climbed, watching, brought, bought, enjoyed. Intransitive verbs: shown, gathered, run, laughed, danced, sat, passed by, waved. Extended activity: writing your own sentence. Write your own sentences using transitive verbs and direct objects and share them with the class for additional practice. Transitive verbs: 1. I set the table. 2. We played basketball. 3. He climbed the tall tree. 4. She is watching a movie. 5. Mom brought some food. 6. Dad bought a new phone. 7. They enjoyed the party. Intransitive verbs: 1. The sun shone brightly. 2. The students gathered outside. 3. The dog ran fast. 4. The baby laughed loudly. 5. The girls danced happily. 6. He sat quietly. 7. The car passed by. 8. She waved happily. Day 2, subtopic number 2, progressive tenses. Present progressive tense describes action that is happening right now or around the current moment. Past progressive tense describes an ongoing past action that was interrupted by another past action. In the simple past tense, it is also used to describe two past actions that were taking place at the same time. Future progressive tense is used to describe actions that will be ongoing or in progress at a specific time in the future. Examples: first column, verb tenses. Second column, examples. Present progressive: Yves is walking to school right now. The children are walking to school right now. Past progressive: Yves was walking to school when the bus arrived. The children were walking to school when the bus arrived. Future progressive: Yves will be walking to school before 7:30 in the morning. The children will be walking to school before 7:30 in the morning. Activity number 2, progressive tenses. A. Progressive tenses, festival experience. Complete each sentence by writing the correct progressive tense of the verb in parentheses, present, past, or future. 1. We are watching the dancers perform the Sinukuan street dance right now. 2. Vendors were preparing their booths when the tourists arrived. 3. We will be visiting our hometown in time for Pahiyas Festival. 4. Tourists are enjoying colorful ati-atihan costumes right now. 5. The musicians will be playing traditional instruments before the mass. 6. Locals were hanging lanterns for the Giant Lantern Festival when the procession passed by. 7. Tourists are witnessing right now the colorful Panagbanga Festival. 8. The fluvial parade will be starting right after the Mass. 9. Fiesta officials were having a meeting when the mayor came. 10. While the children were enjoying the rides in the carnival, the teenagers were watching the stage show in the town plaza. B. Progressive tense builders construct sentences using progressive tenses. Example: simple tense, the children play in the street. Present progressive, the children are playing in the street right now. Past progressive, the children were playing in the street when the parade came. Future progressive, the children will be playing in the street tomorrow morning. 1. Miss Malen helps her students. Miss Malen is helping her students right now. Miss Malen was helping her students earlier. Miss Malen will be helping her students tomorrow. 2. The students listen to their teacher. The students are listening to their teacher now. The students were listening to their teacher yesterday. The students will be listening to their teacher later. 3. The bell rings loudly. The bell is ringing loudly now. The bell was ringing loudly a while ago. The bell will be ringing loudly later. 4. They gather their things. They are gathering their things now. They were gathering their things earlier. They will be gathering their things later. 5. Mang Pilo drives them home safely. Mang Pilo is driving them home safely now. Mang Pilo was driving them home safely yesterday. Mang Pilo will be driving them home safely tomorrow. Day 3, subtopic number 3, adverbs of degree, regular and irregular adverbs. What are adverbs of degree? Adverbs of degree show the intensity of degree of something. They answer the questions how much or to what extent. These adverbs usually modify other verbs, adjectives, or adverbs and make them stronger or weaker. Simply put, adverb of degree tells the amount of the adjective, quality, or the verb action. Adverbs of degree. An adverb of degree modifies an adjective, adverb, or verb to indicate the extent, intensity, or degree of an action. quality, or condition. Here are examples of adverbs of degree: highly, fairly, just, utterly, purely, indeed, most, positively, greatly, totally, less, far, almost, intensely, completely, enough, really, perfectly, virtually, list, to, practically, scarcely, strongly, well, deeply, very, rather, fully, much. Activity number 3, choose the degree. A. Choose the degree. Read the sentences carefully and circle the adverb of degree used in each sentence. 1. Johan was most excited about the upcoming festival. Answer: most. 2. The parade is highly anticipated by everyone. Answer: highly. 3. The floats are very colorful. Answer: very. 4. The musicians played the drums much faster. Answer: much. 5. Ivan was really excited about the fireworks. Answer: really. What are regular adverbs? Regular adverbs are adverbs that follow the typical rules for forming adverbs. These adverbs are formed by adding ly to an adjective. Examples: adjective, quick. The dog is quick. Adverb, quickly. The dog runs quickly. Adjective, happy. The dog is happy. Adverb, happily. The dog happily wagged his tail. Adjective, loud. The dog is loud. Adverb, loudly. The dog barks loudly. Adjective, slow. The car is slow. Adverb, slowly. The car moves slowly. What are irregular adverbs? Irregular adverbs are adverbs that do not follow the typical pattern of adding ly to an adjective to form the adverb. Instead, they have unique forms. Examples: adjective, fast. Johan is fast. Adverb, fast. Johan runs fast. Adjective, early. The teacher is early. Adverb, early. The teacher came early. Adjective, late. Jello was late. Adverb, late. Jello arrived late. B. Adjective to adverb. Form the following adjectives into adverb and classify whether it is regular or irregular adverb. The first two items were done for you. Here's example. 1. Fast, fast, irregular. 2. Quick, quickly, regular. Note: irregular adverbs. Lately is a different adverb that means recently. Hardly ever is an adverb of frequency, meaning almost never. Subtopic number 4, using complement adjective. An adjective complement, also called an adjective phrase complement, is a phrase or clause that completes the meaning of an adjective. Adjective complement, a phrase or a clause that completes the meaning of an adjective. Example, prepositional phrase. Anne is delighted with her present. Adjective, delighted. Adjective complement, with her present. Example, infinitive phrase. Anne is delighted to help. Delighted, adjective. To help, adjective complement. Example, clause. Anne is delighted that she could help. Delighted, adjective. That she could help, adjective complement. Types of adjective complements. 1. A prepositional phrase is comprised of a preposition immediately followed by a noun, a pronoun, noun phrase, or noun clause. Examples. I am perfectly content on my own. On my own is the complement of the adjective content. He felt alone in the world. In the world is the complement of the adjective alone. 2. Infinitive phrases are formed from full infinitive phrase. 2 plus the base form of the verb plus any additional objects or modifiers of the verb. Examples. People are very happy to watch the parade. To watch the parade is the complement of the adjective happy. The dancers seemed impatient to begin. To begin is the complement of the adjective impatient. 3. A noun clause is a dependent clause that is able to function grammatically like a noun. Examples, I'm thrilled that you are coming to visit. That you are coming to visit is the complement of the adjective thrilled. We were a little curious why they decided to leave. Why they decided to leave is the complement of the adjective curious. Lesson activity number 4. Adjective and its complement. A. Adjective and its complement. Read the sentences carefully and circle the adjective and underline its complement. 1. We were a little curious why they decided to leave. 2. People are very happy to watch the parade. 3. I am perfectly content on my own. 4. Are you ready to go? 5. Johan was delighted that he could join. Answers. 6. Ivan was disappointed that he could not watch the show. 7. The spectators are pleased with the band's performance. 8. I am thrilled that you are coming to visit. 9. They are curious why the parade stopped. 10. They felt satisfied with the food. Answers. B. Complete me, please. Complete the meaning of the adjective by providing adjective complement. 1. They are unsure about the answer. 2. Jello was suspicious of the stranger. 3. Johan seems certain about his decision. 4. Ivan is excited about the trip. 5. Basti is worried. about his test. Day 4, subtopic number 5, compound complex sentences. A compound sentence has two independent clauses or IC connected by coordinating conjunctions like and or but. B complex sentence has one independent clause and at least one dependent clause or DC joined by subordinating conjunctions. C compound complex sentences has two or more independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. Structure of the sentence. One independent clause plus one independent clause, compound sentence. One independent plus at least one dependent clause, complex sentence. Two more independent clause plus one or more dependent clause, compound complex. A independent clause or IC has a subject and a predicate expressing a complete thought. It is a simple sentence. B dependent clause or DC has a subject and a predicate but does not express a complete thought. Conjunctions needed to form compound complex sentences. 1. Coordinating conjunctions. The and type is used to add something that is the same line of thought as the first idea. Other words used beside and are but, also, furthermore, and as well as. The but type is used to add something contrary or different to the first idea. Other words may include yet, however, on the other hand, and nevertheless. The or type implies choice. It connects ideas of equal value. The so type implies that the second idea is the result of the first. 2. Subordination conjunctions. Used to join independent and dependent clauses. Because indicates cause or reason. Although indicates contrast. If indicates condition or supposition. When indicates time. While or as simultaneous action. Since cause or reason. Before or after time or condition. Activity number 5, group activity. 1. Divide the class into small groups. 2. Each group will have a worksheet containing incomplete compound complex sentences. 3. Work together to complete each sentence by adding appropriate independent and dependent clauses. Here are independent clauses. Dependent clauses. Here are the answers. 1. After the sunset, people gathered in the town square, and lights twinkled in the darkness. 2. When the musiceros began to play, music filled the air and spectators cheered and clapped. 3. Although it rained earlier, vendors set up their stalls along the street, and visitors explored the colorful array of food trucks. 4. While the fireworks lit up the sky, children laughed and played games and families enjoyed picnics in the park. 5. As families lined up for rides, the smell of freshly popped popcorn filled the air, and delicious aromas wafted from food stalls. 6. After the main stage show ended, performers took a bow, and the crowd cheered loudly. 7, when the dancers took to the stage, musicians played traditional instruments with skill and passion, and the sound of drums reverberated through the streets. 8. Because the fiesta was a success, people from all walks of life came together to celebrate, and friends shared stories around the campfire. Day 5, subtopic number 6, tone and mood, elements that contribute to the mood of a piece. The mood of a piece of writing is its general atmosphere or emotional complexion. In short, the array of feelings the work evokes in the reader. Every piece of writing has a mood, whether it's a masterwork of literature or a short haiku. Moods are established gradually over the course of an entire work. Mood is often confused with tone, which is related but different in that tone refers to the attitude of a piece of writing, not its atmosphere. Because mood refers to an emotion evoked by the text, mood words are often the same as emotion words. Here's a list of common words that describe mood: hopeful, excited, melancholy, nostalgic, centered, sentimental, pessimistic, heavy, uneasy, panicked, jubilant, angry, lonely, peaceful. Basic elements that help determine the mood of a piece of writing. Setting. A story setting is where and when it takes place. Setting is one of the first things to be described in a narrative, and therefore plays a major role in establishing the mood. In The Dark and Stormy Night, the story's mood is established almost entirely by the setting, in this case, the weather and the time of day, which makes for a gloomy and potentially even frightening atmosphere. A story that takes place in a town plaza decorated with banderitas, by contrast, is likely to have a cheerful or festive mood. Genre and plot. The genre and plot of a piece contribute to its mood in many different ways. For instance, a murder mystery with many complicated plot developments and twists probably has a suspenseful or tense mood. Language. The words that a writer chooses to use play a huge part in determining the mood of a piece, in part because different words that mean the same thing can have different connotations. For example, the difference between a dull, uneventful night and a peaceful, silent night might contribute to the difference between a text with a gloomy or melancholic mood and a calm, reflective mood. Activity number 6, choose your mood. Determine the mood of the following description. Choose your answer from the word box. Lively and excited mood, romantic mood, whimsical mood, mysterious and suspenseful mood, calm and reflective mood. 1. A story that has a lot of roses, candlelight, and boxes of chocolates. Answer: romantic mood. 2. A story that takes place in a cotton candy kingdom. Answer: whimsical mood. 3. A scene described as a sense of unease crept over them, amplified by the eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of unseen creatures. Answer: mysterious and suspenseful mood. 4. The use of vibrant colors, lively chatter, and inviting aromas reflects the energy atmosphere of the marketplace. Answer: lively and excited mood. 5. The line, a peaceful, silent night. Answer: calm and reflective mood. Learners' takeaways. What have I learned this week? Fill in the blank with the correct answer. 1. An adjective complement is a phrase or clause that provides information necessary to complete an adjective phrase's meaning. 2. Adverbs of degree tell us about the intensity of something. Adverbs of degree are usually placed before the adjective, adverb, or verb that they modify. 3. The mood of a piece of writing is its general atmosphere or emotional complexion. In short, the array of feelings the work evokes in the reader. Reflection on learning. Assess yourselves if you have already developed the listed skills by drawing a flower or flowers according to the guide below. Draw your flower on the column after learning the lessons. I can even help someone do this. I can do this by myself. I need some more practice. Help me a little and I got it. Even with help, I don't get it. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Huwag kalimutang i-like at mag-subscribe para sa higit pang educational content. I-click ang bell icon para ma-update ka sa ating mga bagong video. Salamat!